Welcome back. Before we leave tonight, many of you know that WHO 13's Roger Reilly is retiring by the end of the week. An award-winning career spanning more than 2 decades here. Our Erin Kiernan has more on the legacy he leaves behind for those who've been lucky enough to work by his side.
You all know Roger Reilly as a roving reporter who travels the entire state. We know him on a more personal level. Keith Murphy's known him the longest.
I think I have 35 years. I moved up here pulling a U-Haul, sight unseen. I'd never been to Iowa, and I moved here, and I got to the apartment. I was about ready to cry because I felt all alone. There's nobody in the world. I was trying to picture, how am I gonna unload this whole U-Haul by myself? And Roger Reilly showed up, introduced himself. It was his day off, and helped me unpack my U-Haul. And that was the first time I met him.
This was at Channel 5.
Yes, it was. Yeah, and we worked together there for years, but that's the kind of guy. He's a guy that would show up and help you unpack, even though he never met me. I mean,
he's always the first one to ask you how you're doing or pray for you when something personal is going on in your life. And I thank him for that, always checking in, asking how you're doing as a person, not just at work, but how you're doing in your life. And that's just who Roger is. He's so faithful, his heart is huge, and he's just a kind man.
You know, he's dedicated, he's hardworking, he's a good family man too. He really is.
I just want Roger to enjoy his time. I know he's an awesome employee, but he's also a great husband, father, and grandfather. And when I talked to Roger about retirement, he said he's most looking forward to being at his grandkids' things. So we're excited for him.
Great guy to work with. And I love his, he's always a guy ready to go out and do whatever he asks. And he's a very faithful person, which I respect. And I wish him all the best.
He is one of the most spiritual, and he will talk about his faith. He's so open about it, and this is the next level. So this is his new mission, which is going to be great. But also, those grandkids. Can you imagine having Roger as your grandpa?
He's just a really good guy, and Hello, Roger. Not a lot of people, when we talked to him at our last meeting, when Bobby told him about it, retirement, he thanked the people behind the scenes, and that's us. You don't get a whole lot. Nobody sees the people behind the scenes, so nobody knows who you are. But when Roger said that, like everybody else makes him look good, that felt like accomplishment.
See you on the news.
So that really touched me, and that made me like him and love him even more.
You're a good man, Roger Reilly. From your work on TV to who you are behind the scenes. Thanks for all you do.
I haven't been around here too long, but I know one thing's for sure. Roger Reilly is that guy. He means so much to everyone here and the community too, with all the stories he's told.
It's so cool, and I hope he still has his earpiece in. He's up there live, at Iowa Falls right now. But it is cool and appropriate that he would be out there live while we're talking about him here.
I know.
We do love you, my friend. And I tell you, as far as the weather is concerned, I don't know who I'm going to find to be a better storm chaser. He was unafraid, went right into everything, got some great stuff. We really appreciate you, Roger, and we hope that you have all sunshine in your future forecast. 74.
Roger Reilly has been with WHO 13 for nearly 2 decades, and this week he's retiring. Roger has been all over the state covering all types of news and events and food. Here's Erin Kiernan with more on his sweet gigs.
You probably know Roger Reilly is a man of many talents, storm chaser, storyteller, musician, and the king of finding food while on his road trips across the state.
WHO 13 News. I think of, he's the newsman I grew up watching. No place is ever too far away for Roger to go. No ice cream cone is safe when Roger Reilly is around.
I mean, I'm sure there'll be ice cream, maybe a tenderloin, a burger someplace too.
But he does, like they said, he does like his ice cream. So.
And he's a one-man band. He's the consummate. And he has this whole setup in his car, which makes me kind of jealous because I see him either eating ice cream or he's like the best burger or the best pork chop or whatever.
willing to go anywhere just willing to be anywhere. If it's a flood, if it's a fire, if it's an ice cream stand, maybe especially if it's an ice cream stand, Roger will go like any distance during the day in his car and be there.
On the road, rural Iowa, covering the small towns and pulling in stories of small town Iowa that we don't normally see otherwise. And food.
And food. What kind of food?
Everything. Everything. Whatever he can stuff in his pie hole, he tastes. And that's cool.
This is a theme. We're hearing this from a lot of people. Everybody mentions the road trips and the food.
Absolutely. It's hard to not to notice.
We've loved seeing your fantastic food adventures across Iowa, Roger. Here's to many more in your retirement.
Right? You can eat ice cream in retirement.
We love Roger.
I know.
We'll be honoring him even more tomorrow as well.
Well deserved.
But what a fun job. Maybe that's why he did it so long. He
This
just got
is
to
true,
drive
to
around and eat
everything. That was funny.
Yeah, we do need to ask him what he liked the best out of all these years.
May is Stroke Awareness Month, and strokes are the 5th leading cause of death and the #1 cause of disability. Oftentimes, those statistics are overlooked until it happens to you or a member of your family. And that was the case for our own Roger Riley. His brother had a stroke, but quick action helped achieve a better outcome. Here's a look back at Roger's story from 2021.
This is my brother, Warren Riley. He's a pastor at St. Paul Lutheran Church in Tama.
If it had not been the Lord who was on our side.
Last August, something strange happened.
I was practicing my message for Sunday, and it was just a normal Saturday practice. The second time through, I started having unexplained problems. I started drooling from my bottom lip. I don't know, somehow I just ended up right here on the floor.
He decided to get into the pickup and head a few blocks to home.
When Shelley realized that I was home because I smashed the mirror of the pickup into the garage door.
I got into the passenger side, and something came to mind that if somebody's having a stroke, you ask them to smile. And so I asked him to smile, and he couldn't because the left side of his face was drooping.
It wasn't long. Local EMTs had Warren en route to Grinnell to the hospital, where they saw an ER doctor who gave him a drug to break up the clot.
It's really quick, and he could tell right away within minutes that Warren had had a stroke.
Then it was into the helicopter for a quick trip to the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics.
I remember the procedure, and I wasn't on a table. I was sitting up because they needed my head straight, I think, so they could somehow see where they were going in my brain, and it was excruciatingly painful.
After it was over, Warren had some slurred speech.
We got introduced to the pilot and the nurse on flight, and I don't remember his name.
But after a couple of nights in the hospital, Warren was bouncing back. It wasn't long before he was celebrating his daughter's graduation. As amazing as my brother's recovery was, the team that worked on him at the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics say that that kind of outcome is becoming really more common. Last year, the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics treated 172 patients, like my brother, with something called mechanical thrombectomy.
When there's a blood clot in one of the main vessels in the brain, this is a procedure where we can go through the vessels in the body, usually from the groin area, and we feed some catheters all the way up through the vessels in the neck, all the way up to the vessels in the brain. And we can use either a little stent device that kind of grabs this clot, or we can use a suction device that we can put up there as well, and we can pull this clot out. I think initially, and especially having family members and everyone kind of realize what could be a stroke, and in his case, and in a lot of people's case, recognizing some weakness on either the face, one side of the face looks like it's drooping a little bit, or having some trouble using an arm or a leg, that's a really common sign of stroke.
So that's what one of our friends said. Oh boy, God was really looking out for you in the way that this stroke happened, and yet you have like no side effects because everything happened just right to get you at the right place at the right time.
We are so happy to welcome Roger back and his younger brother Warren. Watching that video, how strange is that? You know, these past 4 years to see that was the story then, and how are you doing now, Warren?
Well, I really have no side effects, and I do not take that for granted because most people are not able to say that. But I'm doing well. I'm doing anything I want to do, and I have noticed that I run slower, and my wife tells me I'm getting forgetful. That might be more to do with age than a stroke, but I'm very, very blessed and very thankful.
Absolutely.
And you're still semi-retired Lutheran pastor in Tama. You're still working, and you have your family, and life went on. You didn't have any adverse effects at all.
Almost right away, life went on, and I don't have any explanation, but I am very grateful to University of Iowa and the Life Flight and all those steps that they have taken to preserve my life and give me the quality of life I have, and I'm very thankful and grateful.
It's remarkable.
I just remember that at the family gathering one day, you were telling the story, and the more you told, I said, that's like a movie that happened to my brother, and it's all true. And I talked to all those people in the story. So I guess the main thing is that Shelley recognized it quickly.
Yeah.
And she said, what did she ask you? Can you smile or something?
Yeah, I don't remember. I was having a stroke.
She was the one that said, yeah, smile and notice that right away. Roger, what is it like to cover that story? Because, so often we're the ones that are going out and just trying to find that personal connection. But here it was just, couldn't get any more personal.
Well, as he was telling it, I saw it in my mind. I said, this is a great story. I can see it happening. Yeah. I thought, they won't want to do it. You don't want to impose yourself on your brother. And I wasn't surprised when he said yes, but Shelley, his wife, also said yes. And so I was like, oh, let's do it. University of Iowa, the people at the Grinnell Hospital also cooperated. So all the pieces came together, and it was still an amazing story. And when I look back on my career, I'm thinking, that's the most amazing story I covered, I think.
Wow, okay, yeah. I'm sure everybody asks you, and you have, it's probably hard to narrow it down. But just because it's the most personal to you, the story of your brother's survival, that kind of thing?
Yeah, and well, just the fact that he could be operated on while fully awake, and then he's a picture of health still. And you hear people having strokes, you think, that's not good. But for him, it all worked out. God was looking out for him.
He really was.
Yeah, it definitely was a God thing.
Yeah.
You can say that, right? As the Lutheran pastor, right? I expect you to say that fully.
Or even if you weren't a pastor, you could say that.
Absolutely, that and then modern medicine. I mean, both of those. It is pretty remarkable because you're sitting here today and no one would know unless you told them.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think
Thanks,
it's a great
Janae.
story. Yeah. Warren, Roger, nice to see you guys again.
Thank you.
We'll check back with Roger in a little bit. It's a special day, you might have heard, but we'll be right back after this. It's a bittersweet day for us at Channel 13. One of our own, Roger Reilly, has been with us for 2 decades, but his career started well before his time at WHO 13. Roger has done it all. Our Erin Kiernan has more on his remarkable career.
Roger Reilly has been sharing Iowa stories for more than 40 years. This week, he showed me this map that he's been scribbling on to keep track of his many travels, including every tornado he's chased.
But I drove all night.
2019.
Yep. And my priority, Erin, has always been the tornadoes are the big ones for me. Those are the big stories. And I try to make a little squiggle mark everywhere there's a tornado. And I tried counting them not too long ago. I think I got up to about 30.
Why did you want to be a TV reporter?
I was the video geek. And first and foremost, always I'm a photographer first. Because without video, what story do you have?
Very first job.
Was at KBIM TV in Roswell, New Mexico.
What year?
1977, September of 1977. We were shooting sound on film. From that point on, I came back and was interviewing for a job in Waterloo, but ended up in Sioux City. It was owned by the same company. Channel 4 wanted to open a bureau in Spencer. And so I was there for about 2.5 years. And then a very brief stop at KSFY in Sioux Falls. I was in their state capitol bureau. And then back to my hometown, Cedar Rapids, KGAN TV. That's the station I grew up watching. It used to be called WMT TV. And that's where I was in the Waterloo Bureau there. I did a little producing. And then after that, I went to KUOO Radio in Okoboji, Spirit Lake, Okoboji. Worked out of Spencer. Sold advertising, did news stories, did everything. And then I came down here to WOI in 1988, was there 8 years. I was freelancing for ESPN, freelanced some for ABC News, you know, glamorous sounding jobs, but not really, a lot of work. And, oh yeah, just bring me in. One day they said, oh, we need somebody to go in Chapter 13, could you do that? I said, I'd love to. I don't know how to run it. Nobody's ever showed me how to run this thing.
So what a career. What a career.
You know, it may be me out there, oh, poor Roger, he's out there by himself. No, I have people back. Lisa has fixed gibberish. I send her all the time. So I think that's the main thing. I'm thankful for all the people that we've worked with. And of course our viewers who have been more than kind and understanding and encouraging, and occasionally a rare complaint.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Our viewers are grateful for your work, Roger. Here's to road trips in retirement that don't include storm chasing.
Of course, we will miss Roger. We'll have more on his extraordinary career at 5 and 6. You know, to end a career in news, broadcast news, it's something else.
Yeah, congratulations to him. Stay with us. We've got more coming up on the news at 5.
Well, this is it. After almost 50 years in the news business, Roger Reilly is retiring. We are the only ones who've had a front row seat to his work and his work ethic.
Oh, I remember countless family vacations. He can't help himself when he sees a good story, and he would take advantage of, you know, a few extra minutes on vacation to shoot a little video footage that he could use, either send back to the station or use on a story for himself.
Did you think that was crazy?
No, we were all used to it. There was always cameras around when we were growing up, so no, it was totally normal.
How would you describe him as a dad?
Very fun dad, all about the kids, taking us to whatever we needed to get to do. Something I really enjoyed was we'd go on a lot of family vacations when I was younger, camping. We had a pop-up camper we'd take around. I went out to the West Coast with it, but a lot of places off the beaten path in Iowa, and that was really, really fun. He's a very hard worker, and I do a little like video and photo production, so in the same kind of field as him, but I really liked seeing the output and the work. Like, he just does it. There's no excuses. He just gets it done. He's a machine when it comes to news. Turns out story after story. And you work in this field, it happens all the time, all the time. And he, you know, we'll be out at a restaurant somewhere. We go to Okoboji every summer. We'll be out somewhere. Someone will start chatting him about one of his stories. People on campus at Iowa State where I work talk to me, oh, I saw your dad was out last night for the storms. Especially the storms. They love talking about the storm coverage.
Yeah, does that ever make you nervous?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's very important to him, and he really enjoys the storm chasing and storm coverage. So I think we all understand that it's important to him, and he really likes it, and he's really good at it. And I think he's really going to miss that when he retires.
What do you think his legacy will be?
Just somebody who really cared about the state of Iowa and people's stories in the state of Iowa and things happening in the state of Iowa. And he's all about the news, and he's always been all about the news. And I think that'll never change.
We hope that never changes, Roger. We want you to keep sending us those great stories when you're on vacation, or in this case, retired. Now go enjoy that family of yours.
How fitting.
Awesome. Awesome.
So perfect. So great to be with you, my friend of 150 years.
Yes, way back.
Yeah.
Way back.
We had a lot darker hair, didn't we, up here, right?
Yes.
We have a whole lot of crew here with you today.
Yes,
I
yes.
love this. Take a look at all these folks here that have showed up for Roger.
And this is Ryan.
Excellent job,
I'll deal with
Ryan.
you later. Yeah, I'm appreciative for my family, because, you know, at chasing storms, they don't come 8 to 5.
Right.
Rarely. You know, late at night, early in the morning, blizzards. And I'm thankful to my wife, Susie, and to my family, all my family here, for, you know, just basically, and thank you for the viewers who have told me how much they appreciate that and the other stories we've done. It's really humbling, all this.
Well, it is, I'm sure, humbling, but also it's kind of surreal sitting here with your family as we're getting through the last, 24 hours of the official time of Roger here. But you're going to be back maybe once in a while?
Yeah, we were just having some conversations with the management here, and, you know, hopefully, you know, maybe State Fair or some other thing. Maybe, not sure, but, you know, kind of want to kick back for a while and do nothing. and then get my bearings.
Well, I'll tell you what, here's a weather clicker. Anytime you want to come and do weather, you just take over.
I think my granddaughter Emma would like to do that.
She was just on the green screen. She did a great job.
Or Hollis and Garnet, one of these, or Millie, one of the little kids will be the next generation of weather clickers.
Well, you have some great family to enjoy, your 5 grandkiddos. That's really important to you, I know.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ed.
Yep.
Thanks everybody too, Bear, in the control room. You guys rock too.
They do it all.
Yep.
We love you, my friend.
Yep. Thank
Good
you.
luck. Enjoy, and God bless.
Well, traveling along Highway 30 through Benton County, I saw farmstead after farmstead with heavy damage.
From storm damage in Benton to ice cream in Cerro Gordo County, our Roger Riley has visited every county, bringing Iowa's story to you. Now, Roger does it all, and he has for nearly 50 years. Roger is nearly ready to put the camera down. Retirement begins in a few hours, maybe a few minutes. And Roger, even on this final day, you were out covering a story. The DNR is hitting a very busy season.
Yes, my last day. They said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I love going to parks." I don't know about you guys, but I thought, why not, right?
Yeah, might as well.
So Memorial Weekend marks the kickoff of the camping season, and Iowans are eager to get outdoors. The DNR reports 88% of reservable camping sites are already spoken for. Now, you don't expect to find a single reservable site in the newly renovated Lake Aquabi State Park in Warren County. Campers began snapping up sites when the reservations opened 3 months ago. The DNR redesigned the campground to allow more room for large campers and RVs. Now, while campers are excited to start the season, they are most looking forward to some family time this weekend.
As far as camping goes, I mean, it's just good to get together as family and friends and get everybody off the internet and away from talking to, the kids always on the phones, and more human interaction, and just kind of kick back and enjoy the nature.
We sit around the fire until way too late at night, way past my bedtime, and just talk about things and what's going on, and like Mike said, our kids growing up and what they're doing and how that affects us.
Now, reservations for the 4th of July holiday are already open. Reservations for Labor Day will open on June 1st. So basically the campsite there, you can get campsites there in the midweek. You don't have to think far ahead. But if you want to do a holiday like today, think ahead 3 months and stay up till midnight, because there's a big line of people wanting those sites.
Apparently, yeah, a lot of people. Roger, your family was just in here. It's been so wonderful seeing this here with your family, with all the stories that you've done. You mean so much to the community and us here at the station.
I'll tell you what, my friend, I know you're on a retirement role here, but I'm going to be very, very lonely without you out there chasing some of these storms. And I know that your wife is going to be happy that you're not doing that anymore.
Yes, yes.
But you have been just stellar. I don't know what I'm going to do without you.
Well, it's very nice of you to say, but I got to say, all the viewers that have expressed their appreciation for that over the years.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of like ready to do something else, to stay home and look out the window maybe.
Well,
yeah.
I saw several of your grandkids today. I don't blame you. You got to get that done. They're calling you right
now.
I
was about to say that they're
Michael Bentley's calling.
Popular
I'll call
man.
you back, Michael.
Very popular man.
Give him a minute, Michael. He'll get to you. Our showers are out there this evening. We do have some light rain, but Roger, nothing severe. So